What's up, y'all, and welcome to a new video. Today, back to Pokemon, we're going to be doing a PSA submission. I'm recording this right after the Star Wars one, just for, good measure. Hopefully, I'll be sending these cards off tomorrow, I think is kind of my goal. Probably not going to get to it today, but anyways, before I get into those, I do want to show off a purchase I got in. Adding to that personal collection of Japanese Neo cards, in particular, I was really hoping to get this card. I've been waiting for it for a while. I like to sell things off on my personal collection before I buy things. So it's kind of, I don't really like to pump too much more money into Pokemon than I already have. So, sold enough of my personal collection to have the funds to pick this one up. Somebody had a good offer sent to me. It was like $145 for this card, which I think is a steal, honestly, for a PSA 9. Lugia. I mean, it's a beautiful card. It's the true original Lugia, the Japanese being the true original. I always am going to value that at least somewhat higher in a lot of ways than certainly the unlimited English, and on par with the unlimited first edition, or the English first edition. Which the English first edition of this card, we're talking thousands. We're talking a good amount of money. I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure a four-figure card, at least. And to get the Japanese one for $140, that just seems like a complete and total steal. So happy to add this to my collection. But this is a PSA submission. I probably talked too long about that card. Let's go through these and kind of take a guess at what I'm going to get, and talk about the cards a little bit. So we've got a Japanese 11th movie promo. This card, part of that 11th movie set. The Pikachu, to me, a no-brainer to grade. It is well-centered. I had a pretty good looking Giratina that I sent off, and it received a PSA 10. It makes me a little bit more confident in sending these 11th movie promos in. This one, I do think, had something. I'm going to have to look beyond the camera because I actually don't see it now. I think there is some minor whitening on this card. I think that it's really slight, but that upper right corner does have some minor whitening. It's so minor though that I'm hoping this will still get a 10. If it gets a 9, it's it is what it is. Moving on, this one will be a little bit of a faster submission because I really like this Pikachu. There's definitely a trend here, a lot of Pikachus, but I have 5 copies of the secret rare Pikachu from Crown Zenith. I think this went from being an overpriced card at $80 to a almost criminally underpriced card at $10. It is the only secret rare in the set, so you pull it more frequently. You still aren't going to pull it more than every 1 in every 50, 60 packs. That's a lot of packs of Pokemon cards to pull, a chase card. Certainly more than any particular holo pull that you would want from vintage sets. Obviously, modern packs, very cheap. I'm not expecting this to be like a multi-$1,000 card, but I think $10 is just too cheap. And even at $10, there is some margin to be made with PSA 10s. All those I felt were PSA 10 quality. So I'm guessing PSA 10 on all of them. You're certainly gonna have some variability with graders. So if I had to truly guess, I'd say I hit a 10 on 4 of them and a 9 on 1, just because they like to do that sort of stuff. Next up, we've got 2 Surfing Pikachus. I certainly would not grade these unless I thought they were worthy of getting a PSA 10. Centering on them, really good, and no whitening on either of them. So that's certainly hoping for 10s on both of those. This one's an interesting one. I picked this one up on eBay, won it at auction. It just looked really clean. I think I won it for $8 or something. So not a lot into this card, and I do like my old vintage Japanese stuff. I did notice on my pre-grade, though, I don't know if I'll be able to get it to pop up in the light or not. I don't even see it, but it is there. There it is, right there. Between the 2 white little bright lights, there is a small binder dent. Honestly, it doesn't even look that small in that lighting. Not looking good, but I am going to still send this in. It was really hard to see and that's like, you know, the light was shining right on it. I'm honestly hoping they're gonna miss it. Small dents sometimes, you know, they may even not dock the card too much. I'm hoping it gets a 9. But if I had to honestly guess, looking at that dent and that light, I'm gonna go ahead and guess a 6 on that one. So we'll see. I'm gonna send it in anyways. Let's see how it goes. The Riku, again, you know, these cards I'm picking up hoping for 10s. This one looks really good. You know, top to bottom may be a little bit off. You know, this trainer thing covers up. This should be thinner than this when the trainer thing is there. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And unfortunately, some graders don't realize that, and they knock the card. But it's a clean copy. The cut on the very top is like, I guess, a little bit rough. You could tell a little bit more on the back. Yeah, you definitely could tell a little bit. But, you know, I don't know. Are they going to detract for that? It seems that PSA has been detracting for that a little bit more lately. I'm hoping they don't, but it's certainly possible. Radiant Alakazam. This is the last Radiant Alakazam that's going to be going out. I got absolutely wrecked on these. It was a play that I really felt pretty good about, and that got 6s, which was just the worst possible thing. So, you know, I'm done with that play, but I am going to send that one out. Celebi. This one is interesting too. I've got a few interesting cases here, right? This one seems to be missing texture. And I don't know if like all the Celebi cards look like this, or if it's this one in particular. I think the card is clean. I think that's like kind of a print defect. PSA is not going to give me an error. They never do. So I'm curious what they're going to do with this one. And if they give me a 6 or something, I'm going to crack it out. You know, I wasted $18, which sucks, but you know, I think it's worth it because this card could go for quite a bit in a 10. And I think this is a 10 card. I really just don't know. Like, do all of them look like that? I kind of looked at 10s, and it seemed like almost all of them had something of a print line or something here. So maybe they do. I don't know. Tell me if you have this card. Part of a collection I bought had, I think, 5 of the Umbreon VMAXs from EV Heroes. They were clearly all somebody's grading attempt. I looked at all 5. I think they decided to not send them in because they weren't clean enough. This one, to me, looked clean enough. So the rest of them, I definitely found things that were wrong. This one, I think maybe they were being a little too harsh on, and I think this one's a 10. So we'll see. Genesect V, this one looks very clean. If any card in this submission I feel very comfortable will get a 10, it's this card. I really feel like this card is going to get a 10. Very clean, well-centered card. Arceus V, this one also looks really good to me. There is some, like, there's like a weird cut kind of on this corner, but I've seen PSA give 10s anyways when that's the case. Like, it's not necessarily damage or anything, so. Pretty clean. Same thing, there's just a weird cut to the corner. I am a little hesitant to send this one, but I think I looked and the 9s go for, you know, roughly like $15 more than a raw card. So at the end of the day, I'd be losing like $3 to grade it. So because I think that would certainly get a 9. So I'm sending it in, hoping the 10. If I get the 9, not a huge deal. This one, Deoxys V-Star, part of a collection I had. I didn't send it in with my original batch. I think I was just being a little too harsh on it. The back centering's off, and I think that's probably what kept me from sending it. But back centering really doesn't matter all that much, and it's pretty clean, so that one's going to go off. Charizard V-Star, same thing, sort of thing. I considered sending this one off. I didn't end up sending it off. I don't know. I mean, it's a Charizard card. It looks like a 10. There's a little bit of a premium there. This card I know like nothing about, I'm going to be honest. I think it certainly seems like it was a promo for Pokemon the movie, XY the movie, with a Darkrai. It's a cool card. It's really not worth all that much. I had no idea. It came sealed in a collection I bought. Broke it open because it looked like it was really well centered. It looks really clean. I'm going to grade it. I think it's only worth $50-$60 at a 10. Probably will sit on my eBay forever, but I think it's cool, so I'm going to send it in. Mew V. This one looks good. I think there's, the top bottom is off, but I think that's within the 60-40. Is it? We'll find out. It's cutting it. cutting it close. Similar to that Arceus, though, if this one got a 9, it's only, you know, I'm only losing like $5 essentially, because it's worth like $15 more in a 9, or, you know, like $12-13 more in a 9 than it is raw. Really not a huge gamble to send it in. Probably the biggest card of this submission is this Alakazam EX. Such a cool secret rare. I already own one copy of this card. Left to right, a little bit off, but it's not that off. I'm hoping it's not too far off, because it is otherwise an extremely clean copy of this card. There's no whitening on it whatsoever. I feel like the grader, if you're watching this video, you know, this is a 10. You know, for an XY card, this is a 10. That is my genuine opinion, and I certainly hope you don't think I'm biased or anything. I would love this card in a 10. So, last card in a 10. This card's a $200-300 card. It's a bigger card to end it off on. That's what I'll be submitting this month. This will probably be my last submission of the year. I don't think I'll do one in December. Just trying to make some sales, try to kind of allocate some, you know, get more capital, be a little bit more liquid, and focus in on buying collections that are really worth my time. You know, that I'll make more than $20-30 on. But buying things that I'm confident I will make something off of, and be able to put some away for my collection. So, anyways, that's my video for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one.